we'll move on to bad time management. So we begin by this quote, say that trying to do too much at the same time, you only focus on the details instead of big lines as well as on details. So no goal stroke aims or there are clear, no set priorities or changing priorities. So you don't have a set priorities or changing priorities. The goals and the aims are very unclear. So that's a summary of what bad time management is all about. So you don't have the goals, you don't have the priorities, you don't have the aims in your time management strategy. Now we have tried to come up with a number of or some 3 learning outcomes. So the first learning outcome is that by the end of the training, the attendee should be able to define bad time management. So you should be able to define the concept of bad time management. So the concept of bad time management, explain the aspects of poor time management, then outline the effects of bad time management. So those are some of the things that we have to explore in this discussion this morning at Hano Academy. So in this case, in a nutshell, we are going to look at those learning outcomes. Now, but as apart from that, I want you to look at that picture there. What are you able to see? Look at the picture and read whatever that is written in red. Then we shall talk about what that photo talks about. What is the purpose of having that photo with us in this session of bad time management? Take some 2 minutes, look at the photo, then we pick up from there. Now you have seen that clock. That's a clock. The item there is a clock, and that clock has some writing. There's some writing on that clock. That the clock. So the clock talks of has the word written letter. There's a word there written as letter. So we want to find out why the presented there in that clock. So this tells us that the clock, maybe somebody set an alarm, then he pressed on the alarm indicating the word meaning that he will wake up later. He set an alarm to wake up at a certain time, then he postponed that alarm to a later time. But sometimes the word later in this code means that somebody is trying to procrastinate, to postpone a duty or an activity to a later hour or a later time. So there is a question of procrastination on this clock, and that's an aspect of bad time management, as we shall see. So this is a clock that you can all view from your end. So then that clock should teach us something to avoid the concept or the question of procrastination. So bad time management. So the first thing is that you are not able to prevent problems from appearing because you are a bad time manager. For example, you have to spend time on the quality inspections afterwards because the quality of the input was too low. So since you did not inspect the activity on time, then it leads to low quality. Or you have to alleviate mistakes or solve problems created by others. So you spend time now trying to solve mistakes that are in alleviating or removing mistakes that are created by others. Therefore, effective time management requires prevention of mistakes. To be able to prevent the mistakes, making suitable appointments with other members involved in group activities, and setting good rules and procedures before you start. So you'll be tasked with solving or alleviating mistakes or solving the problems created by others. So you need to be very keen on this aspect of bad time management. So you'll take a lot of time to solve the mistakes, solve problems that are created by other people. So it's good that you manage your time well so that you don't spend a lot of time solving these mistakes and the problems that are created by other individuals. So then another aspect of bad time management is that we are not capable of preventing problems from appearing. So we have talked about research. So then we shift to something else. So you lack a personal efficiency in the organization, personal efficiency in the organization of your files, your diary, and or your desk. So you saw the picture that I presented to you in some lessons ago. There was a littered, a whole desk is filled with the items, materials, etc. So then we are saying that a messy desk is not necessarily a sign of hard work. So if the desk is messy, it does not mean that you are a hardworking person. So the desk being messy does not tell us that you are hardworking. You cannot tell us that you are hardworking because of having a very messy desk, a very littered desk with materials, with books, with the writings, etc. So having a messy desk tells us that you are not an organized individual. You are not organized. Causes. So we need to work on that. So you lack efficiency because you'll be spending on finding some things on the finding some files. You want to find some writing materials on the desk. So a mess desk will make you not be efficient at all. You lack efficiency if you have a messy desk. So then another aspect of bad time management is that you have no insight into your most productive hours during the day. For example, it's not realistic to plan serious brain activity straight after a heavy meal. So you need to find out your most productive hours during the day. So most productive hours during the day are key in this case. So there are times when you during the day you find out that there are times you are productive, maybe morning hours or evening hours, but during daytime when it's hot, you might not be productive as such. You might not be productive. So if you don't know you are productive a time or hours, then that's also another concept of bad time management. So you want to partake activities, a lot of activities at the same time, and then that one affects you as somebody who is working. So I want you to take time and think about what we have just talked about in a short while, then we shall proceed. Shall proceed from there. So you can share it with your friends. You can talk about it with the people around you on basically what we have talked about here. Then we proceed. Now, I hope you have shared with your friend on what we have been discussing here. So another aspect of bad time management is that you are not capable of keeping an appropriate diary. For example, you note all your appointments in a diary, but you do not include time for study or preparation for groups and other work. So study time then easily becomes a marginalized activity and the de facto loses priority. So this also relates to not noting the amount of time that you need to travel from one place to another. So if you don't manage the time well, then you'll find out that you're not able to keep an appropriate diary. You're not able to keep an appropriate diary by noting down all your appointments in your diary, but you do not include time for study or preparation and other works. So that's another aspect of bad time management, failing to have or carry along with you a diary. So you don't carry a diary with you. So the diary is a very important document, is a very important part of your time management. So then you'll also another aspect of bad time management or poor time management is there's bad organization of work, a study and a private life, and their interaction over time. So there is bad or poor organization of work, a study in the private life. And if you find it difficult to make clear distinction between work and private life, you'll allow too many other people to waste your time. So I repeat that if you find it difficult to make a clear distinction between work and private life, you'll allow too many other people to waste your time. Then if you allow friends to come and visit you while you are studying, doing a research project, this will create a major lapses in concentration. So if friends keep on visiting you when you are doing an activity, then this one will create what we call lapses in concentration. You will fail to concentrate, and the failure to concentrate means that you will not get what you wanted to do or to partake during the time of study. So the concept of bad organization of work, the study, in the private life, and even their interaction. Now, this is a picture still we are using, and this picture shows an aspect of bad time management. So there is bad organization of the work. So look at that picture in terms of organization. Look at that picture and find out if that person is organized. So that's another aspect of bad time management. And I've used that photo to illustrate that concept. So there is bad organization. The table you can see. So then another aspect of bad time management is not being assertive. You are not able to say no to some things, implying that you do not have priorities. you'll be having a lot of work on the table because you're not able to say no on some activities that you don't manage or you're not able to do. So then so delegation is important, then it lessens your activities. So you can see that photo there. So look at that photo, the effect of not delegating. Just then the effect of saying yes to everything. You are not able to say no to some duties that you don't understand or you don't have capability and the potential. So those are the effects of that aspect of not saying no and failing to delegate. So take time and interact with the photo for some 2 minutes, then we pick up from there. We shall discuss that photo briefly as we move on to another photo in this discussion. Now you have seen that photo. Those are the effects of not saying no to a given tasks and not delegating tasks to people that have a mastery and the people can support and assist you. Those happens to be the effects. So from the table, you can see this guy. On the left, there are some box files. There are 2 box files. There is a calculator there. There is a phone. There are many papers on the table. There is a laptop. He has placed a hand on a laptop on the right hand. Then he has put some spectacles, spectacles there. On that table, he's putting some spectacles on the left-hand side. So you can see all those things on the table at the same time by one person. So look at that and I try to understand what I'm reasoning about. I'm trying to say that these issues will affect your health. It will stress you. And you see this guy is stressed or is frustrated and is bending on the table. That tells us that this person must not have done some duties. And that's why the guy or the person has a number of things on the table. So all these things by one person tells us that this person was either postponing duties, this person was not delegating, this person was picking up all the tasks at the same time, and now he has realized that the deadline has just reached, and you can see the mess he is in, the trouble he's in. So that's a concept of bad time management that can lead to that frustration, that stress of meeting the deadline asked by the the employer. So you need to be a little bit careful on the question of time management so that you don't land into the trouble like this a person that we are seeing in this photo. He is a bit stressed. So you look at another photo. You should just take time to look at these photos, interact with these photos, and see what the photos are all about. Look at that photo. I want you to take time because this photo has a number of things there. Take some 3 minutes and look at this photo keenly. Look at it keenly and see what is happening there. Now, as you interact with that photo, I wanted to make a discussion on, with somebody around you. Try to discuss that photo and find out what is best for the table and try to understand that photo in terms of bad time management. Then, after you've done that, we shall take some time talking about that photo in a short while. Now, I hope you have interacted with the photo keenly. I've given you some time to look at the photo and find out what is placed on the table and what is happening, and you try to link or relate that with the bad time management skills. So we begin by looking at the person who is in that photo. Look at what he's doing. He's holding his head tightly. He's having the laptop in front of him. There is a laptop in front of him. And look at where there is a mouse. Look at where there is a mouse. So this is a very interesting thing. The mouse is supposed to be moving, to be in a place that it should move. But look at the mouse is sandwiched in between the headphones. There are also other wires here. There are some books on the left, a lot of books on the left, and even papers. There are books on the left, then papers. You can see there are some other items on the table, many items. There are pens, pair of scissors, pencils on. There are many items on the table, as you can see. Now, what does that tell us? Do you think that this person is a good time manager? Do you think he's a good time manager? The answer is automatically no. He's a bad time manager because of the manner in which he has presented his table. So this is the concept of bad time management. This person has, so bad time management leads to somebody partaking different activities or handling different activities. As you can see, you have as you have seen there. So this is a concept of bad time management. Is overwhelmed by work. So bad time management is about task. So this guy is also might be multitasking. He wants to handle many things at the same time and is not able to do that. And that's why he's stressed. There's a lot of stress that is hitting him. And you can see right from the photo presented there. So bad time management is a concept of tasking which leads to stress, anxiety, and bad health, so to speak. So that's a photo that you have interacted with. And I want to advise you to, whenever you are doing an activity, make sure that the working area is clean. The working area should be clean. Make the working area clean. Should be clean, tidy, and the clean working area gives you also some ample time to work, and you'll not confuse tasks. You'll not get mixed up like this. A person that you are seeing in this photo is indeed mixed up and he lacks a direction on what to do. So then bad time management is about unrealistic, or there is no taxation of time. There is no taxation of time. People don't tax time. There is no planning effort, no intention to work on this self-discipline. So there is the question of not planning, the unrealistic or not taxation of time. You are not capable of planning your day, so you don't plan for your day. A day is not planned for. You cannot plan for a week, and if you are a student, you cannot plan for a semester, or you cannot plan for a term due to a lack of systematically generated and analyzed information. For instance, on your reading and working pace, Then if you're not systematic in evaluating mistakes made in the past, you'll not change your time consuming habits in the present easily. So bad time management is about not failing to plan for the day, a week, a month, a year, or a semester. You cannot plan for hours, periods, etc. Generally, you are not self-disciplined. So the question of self-discipline gets in here. You are not self-disciplined in terms of how you run your time schedule. Then bad time management also has this. You have to look at this concept. So there are no goals or aims. If they are done, they are unclear, no set priorities or changing priorities. So you don't have set priorities or you don't have changing priorities in your work or in your time schedule. So you see, this does not have goals, it does not have the aims, and if it has them, then they are unclear. So somebody who do not have goals or aims is a poor time manager. Then in practice, short-term priorities will then always dominate your long-term ones, creating timing problems later on to reach your longer-term objectives. So you want to take time to talk about the short-term the goals. Then these short-term goals override or overtake the long-term objectives. So you need to balance between the short-term and the long-term objectives. So have the goals and the aims right, make them very clear, set your priorities or changing priorities. So the question of bad time management is about somebody not having the goals or aims, or if they are there, we have said that they are very unclear. Now, then we move on and we're looking at how to recognize somebody who is a procrastinator, how to recognize somebody who is a procrastinator. Sorry. So how do you identify somebody who is a procrastinator, somebody who postpones activities, somebody who postpones tasks? We have talked about procrastination for quite some time, and I don't want to play this to show you these slides. I want you to think about uh, some of the things that tell us that somebody is a procrastinator. So think about a number of things to show that somebody is a procrastinator. Then I'll make my presentation on features of a procrastinator or characteristics of a procrastinator. Now think about those issues of procrastination. What are some of the features, some of these features of somebody who is a procrastinator? So we have those features there, or characteristics, how to identify this kind of a person. So this person, number one, reads emails several times without starting work on them or deciding what you are going to do. So you read several emails several times. So by reading these emails several times, that means that you are postponing something that you are postponing. Some work is piling and you are just reading the email several times, or without starting work on them, or without now implementing what is said in the emails from your bosses. Then you are sitting down to start a high priority task and almost immediately going off to make a cup of coffee. So you are starting a very high profile task, but you take some time, you immediately go off to make a cup of coffee, to prepare a cup of coffee, or to cook some coffee. So that's another way you can recognize this person. He started a very important task, then he goes to make some coffee or prepare tea, some meals. Then number three, he leaves an item on your to-do, leaving an item on your to-do list for a long time, even though you know it's important. It's supposed to be done. And you know very well that this thing that you are supposed to do is a very important, is something that is very key. So you leave something on the to-do list to be done, yet you know very well that this thing is urgent or it's important, it is needed. But that's also another way in which you can recognize a procrastinator, somebody who postpones activities or duties given. So then you are regularly saying yes to an important task that others ask you to do, and filling your time with this instead of getting on with the important tasks already on your list. So avoid saying yes to an important task that people ask you to do, and then you fill your time with this instead of getting on with the important tasks already on your list. So ensure that you have these items, these issues done in such a way that you begin with the most important tasks before you come to the list. And don't just accept everything that people at the workplace give you to do. They will affect your schedule. But then you're waiting for the right mood or the right time to tackle the important task at hand. Waiting for the right mood or the right time to tackle the important task at hand. So this is a person who wait. So you wait for the right mood or the right time to tackle the important task at hand. So don't wait for time. If the task is important, then we are advised that we take it at the time it is presented And so don't wait for the right mood or the right time to tackle the important task that you have been given. Now, I want to stop there for today. Then we shall pick up later for another session on time management. The next session will be time management for a professional. So we shall look at the time management for professionals in our next discussion later. So with those many marks, want to stop there. Then we pick up another time.